Hi there, this is Ronnie, coming at you with a video. Said I'd be back soon. Right, so Massive Nyarlathotep is finished, and it's me next to run again. And I'm not. I'm kind of sure what I want to do, but I'm not quite sure I'm going to do it. And what I mean is, in terms of genre or style, the last three games, actually the last four, there's no point in me doing horror. We've just come off of 2 years of doing horror, so I'm not doing a horror game. As much as I'd love to, I'm not doing a horror game. I'm running a fantasy game on a Thursday night. I don't want to do double duty, so I'm not going to run fantasy. If I could get the card system to work properly, I would run Falkenstein, but I can't, so I won't be. I'm tempted by steampunk. I do have some steampunk settings for Savage Worlds and steampunk setting for True 20. But I kind of want to do space opera. And I mean genre, not the game. The game Space Opera, for those who don't know, is a game from the early 80s, which, like many games from the early 80s, was more complex than it really needed to be. I don't want to do one that really deals with political machination. And the reason for that is not because I don't like that style of game, I do. But recently, one of the sort of last Saturday night games we played was a game run by Phil using the Dune RPG, sort of venerate one from the 80s. And that dealt with the sort of political machinations and sort of house politics and so on. And I really enjoyed that, but I don't want to repeat that. I want this game to be something else. So I'm kind of thinking about the kind of stuff that back in the day I would have run using Traveller or Space Master. Now, I got rid of my physical books of Space Master ages and ages ago because decent amount of background and setting, but oh my god, the game system. I'm too old for running that game system now. My brain just doesn't work at that speed. Traveller, or its non-trademark version, the Cepheus engine, would be a good shout if I had it. But I don't. So I'm left with three sort of rule sets and settings. And I haven't quite decided which one I want to use. It might come up as a conversation. The first is, it's a choice of two, and I might just amalgamate the two for Savage Worlds, which is, first of all, I've got the last parsec setting for Savage Worlds, which really sort of hooks into the Sci-Fi Companion. I've also got another setting, it's an independent one for Savage Worlds called High Space, and I could easily sort of port bits and bobs from both if I so wished. So that's one possibility. For True 20, I have a setting which is also a setting for Traveller called Reign of Discordia, which I've got to start reading the background for. I'm intrigued to run that simply because it has its origins with Traveller, which means it's more in line with what I'm kind of looking at. The other possibility is using active exploits and running the Hard Nova 2 campaign setting. My instinct would be to run Reign of Discordia. Possibly Last Parsec. And my only thing for not running Hard Nova is I really want to give active exploits a try out first before I add something. Which I'm hoping to do for Tabletop Scotland, because one of my games is using active exploits. But that's kind of where I want to go. I want to do something that's kind of grand scale. Grand scale in the sense of, sort of not being tied into one small system. I've done the tied into one small system thing with Lux Aetonum, which was perfectly fine, and I enjoyed Lux Aetonum a lot. But I want to go sort of big and be interstellar rather than just sort of round a couple of systems nearby each other. And do something that's very broad. Lots of space battles and action and double crosses and nefarious schemes. But nefarious schemes happening at the top, with the characters sort of being at the sort of shop floor level, where management are doing things that they may or may not ever hear about, but they'll certainly feel the consequences, which I kind of like the idea of. But that's sort of where my head is. I really want to do something sci-fi, straight up big sci-fi, as opposed to sort of smaller kind of Lux Aetonum couple of systems, or I don't even want to go gritty cyberpunk. And the reason, again, I don't want to do anything gritty after Masks. I want to do something sort of big and epic, a little lighter. I mean, I don't want it to be comedy, to be honest. Although the idea of doing something in the style of Galaxy Quest does appeal. Have everyone, have the people just be normal humans suddenly thrust into this sort of epic sci-fi adventure appeals. But that's one possibility. But I don't think I'll run with that. I want to give them. I'd like to give them a case of their crew doing business. I suppose similar in style to Firefly, but with a greater expanse, and not have the post-Civil War analogy with it. So yeah, that's kind of where my head is for running a game. So thanks for watching, folks, and I'll be back soon with another video.